Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey y'all, welcome back. I am Aja A. For those of you guys that have never been to my channel, welcome. It is time for another video. Before I get started, it's been kind of quiet. I was trying really hard to get those Taurus lunar cycle videos up, but I couldn't, so I am sorry, but your Gemini lunar cycle tarot forecast will be going up over the next week. I am back on track, and I promise I'm really telling the truth this time. Like, I will have those tarot lunar cycle I will have those videos up for you guys going up over this next week. Got it out. Now, as I was saying, this is for the Gemini lunar cycle. So we were talking beginning of June. Gosh, we're already in June. We're talking beginning of June through the beginning of July. That's crazy. Okay, so for those of you guys that just, are getting into astrology or just now learning, the new moon is the time when the moon appears as if it is not in the sky, and energetically it's a time that is associated with new beginnings, new cycles, also a little bit of mystery, a little bit of secrecy. The moon is the planet that governs our emotions, so in regards to all the mystery and the haziness and the new cycles, there's also a little bit of anxiety associated with the new moon, and with it just being such a strong point in the lunar cycle, emotions do tend to be a little bit more heightened during this point in the lunar cycle. I can't talk today. This time around, the lunar cycle is falling in the sign of Gemini, which for me, I am not a Gemini, but this time of year symbolizes us getting ready to go into the summer. So this is one of my favorite times of the year. The spring is ending. We're getting away from all the rain and the snow. I'm from Colorado, so from the snow and all the rain and the cold weather, and going into the summer where the sun is always shining and where it's just warm and where it feels, see, noise outside because people are outside. Why? Because we're getting ready to go into the summertime. We're wrapping up the springtime. Gemini is the sign of the twins. For those of you guys that don't know, Gemini is an air sign. It's associated with creativity, innovation, communication also as well, and adventure. Geminis are very adventurous. I don't even know how I want to say this sentence. I was going to say I used to have a Gemini friend, and then I was going to say I have a Gemini friend, but I haven't talked to this person in months, actually. It's been a while. I haven't talked to him in a while. But I hope everything's good over that way. I be doing these readings, and I'm like, boy, you're probably going through it. But, I'm sure my friend will come back around. Z. Zero knows what I'm talking about. Shout out to the tribe. Anyways, okay, let me get back on track. So this new moon is happening on Monday. This is a really cool, while I was doing my research, I was looking at the numerology. This moon is happening on a 3-day, which I'll talk about a little bit later. It's happening on June 3rd, which is 6/3, and this moon happens at 6:03 in the morning, and that is Eastern time. So, do your calculations to figure out when it actually happens in your area. But for me, I always, when I do these videos, when I do my research, because I used to live on the East Coast, I do Eastern time, even though I don't live out there anymore. It's just kind of habit. So I thought it was really cool, and I was like, it's interesting. We're in a 3-year. All of that shit breaks down to 3. So it's going to be a very poppin' moon for everybody, so to speak, because of the energy coming in with it. Okay, let's get into what's going on specifically with this moon being in the sign of Gemini. Again, Gemini are the twins. They're the sign of communication, social skills, They're very adaptable. Geminis are, as I said, they're air signs. They're also intellectuals. They're very intelligent. If you know any Geminis, the way that they think is typically not the same as everybody else, but they tend to be extremely smart. Kanye West, for example. Oh gosh, I love Kanye though, so you know, whatever. So with this new moon being in the sign of Gemini and this being the time of new beginnings, the time of new cycles, if you have been watching my videos for a while, or if you've been keeping up with me over the past, it's been like a year, I think. If you saw my Gemini video from last year, the message was live your best life. This, or figure out what it is what builds up, what aspects, what components you need to put into this pot in order for you to live your best life. We're now here a year later, and the message this time around is to start doing the work to live it, to actually be living your best life. We were, okay, how do I live my best life last year? This time around it is, okay, actually you should be living your best life, if that makes sense. Gemini is a sign associated with adventure. We give that characteristic to Sagittarius, but Geminis are also very adventurous. So this new moon falling into this sign, I think for especially coming with this message of, okay, how do I get it poppin'? How do I create the life around me that I have envisioned, that I have intended, that I want to physically manifest? This sign comes with a little bit of a message of adventure. So coming in during this next month, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us are either presented with, it's kind of windy, I got the window open, are presented with, opportunities that we might not necessarily or wouldn't necessarily venture into on our own. Might also just be put into these spaces and places where it's kind of like, oh, want to take a trip? Yeah, let's go. Just very spontaneous, not really planning things, but kind of going wherever the wind blows you with this air element coming in to say, okay, where is life about to lead me, and how do I get myself to that point to where life is about to lead me? It's loud, it's windy, y'all. It's so seldom that I hear sirens out here, and I used to live in DC and I would hear sirens every single day, but now that I am back in Colorado hearing sirens, it's like, wow, it's noisy. Anyways, what was I saying? Just an element of adventure. So my message to you guys as far as that is concerned is, if things pop up, or if you have this opportunity, if you feel pulled to do something that you've never done before, to do something different from what you're used to, don't be resistant to change. Just see, my mom, like, if you watch my videos, you probably heard me say this, but my mom always would tell me, you should just go out and try it, go out and do it, and if you don't like it, you can always go back to square one. But you're never gonna know. Tap into this Gemini energy and just be adventurous, do things that you've never done before, put yourself in places that you've never been before, and just see where life leads you, because that is the energy coming in for us. We are wrapping up the springtime, so it's like, okay, we've planted our little seeds. The summer's coming in with a lot of fire. I associate the summertime with fire energy, so summer's coming in with this passionate, motivational, let's get to it energy of movement. So at this time, it's like, okay, let's be adventurous while we're getting ready to tap into this. Why not? Gemini is a sign associated with change. It's a twin, so you guys know they go from here to here to here to here, all in one day. So I feel like with Gemini being the sign associated with change and being able to adapt very easily, as we're coming into these new spaces, as we take these new opportunities, as we find ourselves in this new energy, we will also be figuring out and getting to this point, or taking steps into, okay, where am I comfortable? What makes me feel content in this life? Where is a space? Where is a time? Where is a place where if I am just being me and doing me, I feel completely okay. I'm not worried about what this person thinks. I'm not worried about how this looks to this particular crowd, and etc. 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 It's spelled etc. That's the writer in me. I hate when I say things and I know how they look on paper and I know how they're actually pronounced, and that's not how we in society pronounce them. Anyways, English is a horrible language, by the way. It's a stupid language. But it's the only language I speak. I like to learn some new languages. So if you guys are trying to give me some lessons, slide in my DMs on YouTube, wherever those are. I think I have. You know what? Going on a tangent. What is that? Gemini energy, communication, air energy. Okay, so as I'm talking y'all's ears off, let's just go on into the part of this lunar cycle that shines a little bit of light on our social skills. So this is a new moon. We're coming into new chapters. We're coming into this place of living our best life as opposed to thinking of what that could be. I don't know what that message means. I'll text her back in a second. Anyways, sorry. What was I saying? Coming into these places, into this new energy, understanding what our best life, what that path is, what that looks like, and actually being able to do it and actually, acting it out in the physical, we are resonating with Gemini energy, which is shining a light on our communication. So we will all see, an increase in the way that we communicate. An improvement in the way that we communicate. We'll probably start having a lot more conversations. We'll probably find ourselves in these, in situations to where we can't hold our tongues. And that's not to say to just be wild with your mouths. I have a Leo Mercury, so that is just me anyways. But the Gemini energy, I think, is coming in to say, okay, speak your mind, say what's on your heart, and listen and understand and get people to understand and listen to you. That's what this 3 year is all about: communication, creativity, and collaboration. So, or community. So coming into the summer season, wrapping up the spring season, it's like, okay, we want to plant the seeds that are going to take us through this year. So why not come into a space to where we are able to effectively communicate with others, to where we can say the things that we need to say and get them across in the ways that they need to get across, and then also at the same time understand what other people are saying to us and be able to process what is being told to us, as opposed to just hearing things and letting them go through one ear and out the other. Another aspect coming in, another energy coming in with this Gemini moon is the energy of creativity, and that's what I am the most excited about. My little creative heart, my soul. I haven't been having writer's block, but I've been having a hard time actually sitting down and writing. I've been having a hard time getting into the music. I've been having a hard time just doing all the things that are connected to my creativity, to my creative abilities and my talents. So for us, for everybody, there's this Gemini energy coming in, and if you know any Geminis, they are just true artists at heart. In their little souls, they just emanate art and creativity, and just I love it. So everybody's gonna be, I feel like you'll have this kind of new refreshed energy or new refreshed passion for the things that you want to do, especially if they are related to the arts, music, writing, film, dance, things of that sort, or anything that causes you to, or that helps you think in a way that is not just, straightforward by the book, something that gets your gears going. I am excited for this Gemini energy. Creative energy is something, I really like the Gemini lunar cycle energy last year, and now that I know a little bit more about it, I'm excited to see what this next month has in store for myself and for everybody around me, especially with the 3 year energy coming up for all of us, because it is collaborative. So we'll all be tapping into this energy, and also what you put out is what you receive. So as we're tapping into this is what we're going to be resonating with. So as it's going out, that's what we're going to be pulling in. So don't be surprised if you're working on projects with other people, if you're starting to come together and starting to brainstorm ideas with other people and things of that sort. I'm excited because I'm ready to produce some films, y'all. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Gemini is a mutable energy. I've been saying this a little bit throughout the video. Mutable signs wrap up the season, so it comes in with an energy of, okay, let's get everything together so that we can push forward and bring in this element of change that came in with the cardinal that was worked on by the fixed, and now let's bring this into this new chapter. So with this being a mutable energy wrapping up the springtime, I talked about planting seeds and getting ready to move into the summertime. So this new moon, although it is kind of resonating with the energy of an ending, it is very much so still resonating with a very fresh, it carries the energy of this fresh springtime, let's get it popping, what are we about to do, and also carries the energy of, okay, we're about to do this now that we figured it out. So be ready to make moves. I feel like we're all about to really hit the ground running when the summertime comes in, and that's in all aspects. I feel like in our careers, in our relationships, in our healing, and just everything, I feel like we're going to see a lot of change and a lot of work being done coming in over the summer months. This is an air moon, so although the moon governs our emotions, air is not associated with emotions, so there's a element of detachment. So although emotions might be a little heightened, I do also feel like at the same time, for a lot of us, it may be hard for us to kind of tap in and get in touch and in tune with not only ourselves but other people. And it may also be very hard for us to understand what other people are trying to get across. But again, with all things, there's a shadow side and there's a light side. Try to resonate on the side with the light, with all that positive Gemini shit that I was talking about earlier. Let's not look at the Geminis in the way that we usually do, like, oh my god, Geminis. Let's actually give them their positive qualities during their season. Let's let them have it, and let's, have it with them. Why not? Negative aspects, I'll actually talk about that at the end. Let's talk a little bit about the numerology for this moon. We are having this lunation in 12 degrees, which again is another 3. So 1 comes with the energy of manifestation, with independence, with new cycles and new beginnings. So double up on the new moon energy. And then 2 is the energy of cohesiveness, of bringing things together, of balance, of peace. So wrapping up the springtime, knowing everything that we want to do, bringing it all together in order for us to move forward into these new chapters with the right type of, plan, with the right strategies, with the right path laid out in front of us. This breaks down into 3, going back into that 3 universal year energy. All these things are coming together for us to place our little puzzle pieces in the other puzzles that we need to put them in, bring everything into the whole, bring it all together, and then start to build upon these things and watch them flourish and watch them become successful and bring in the energy of abundance. So people talk so bad about Geminis, but I am excited for this month coming up. This is the month that leads into my birthday, y'all. So I have a little bit of a bias. Like, I'm lit anyways, but this is a really good and very positive energy for everybody. It's not an earth energy. It's not heavy. It's not a water energy. It's not all emotional. We're not cleansing and crying, and it's not a fire energy to where we're just kind of, this is an air. It's kind of light. It is airy. It is very positive, and it's very creative, and it's very, I don't know what I was about to say, but this is a really good energy coming in for everybody, and I think that we should all try to tap into it in the most positive way possible. Okay. All right, so I just kind of reiterated that we thought about how it looks to live our best lives. Now we are actually in the place and in the space to live our best life. So during this next month, you should be doing the things that make you happy. You should be doing the work that'll bring in the things that you feel like you need in this tangible world in order to bring in that element of happiness for you. And you should also be putting out the energy that you wish to receive. I say that all the time, but especially so in this Gemini lunar cycle, with all of this 3 energy coming in, amplifying the universal year energy. Okay. And this moon is coming in right before a set of eclipses. So really start working with and putting out and tapping into the energy that you'd like to be in. Again, live your best life. Live your best life, literally. Again, I might even make that the title again for this my little promo videos, because that's really the message here. I talked about the negative shits. Also, because all the signs resonate with the negative and a positive side, Gemini on the shadow side can be a little illogical, again, a little detached, and a little impulsive. And just be mindful, be careful about those things during this lunar cycle, especially as we're coming into new cycles. We're building upon the things that we want to see come in for us. And so we may deal with the element of detachment. And so as you're trying to come into a new, but you're not really feeling it, you've got to be very careful about the things that you put out and the things that you say, because if it's on the negative side, I understand that that will pass, and you don't want to be in a space to where you said something or did something that wasn't necessarily how you're feeling or wasn't necessarily what you wanted to play out, and that now you find yourself here because you done slipped up with all that Gemini lie, you know what I'm saying? So just be very mindful of how you're speaking to people, what you're saying to people, and the way that you're processing things. Really think things through, and think things through a second time if you have to. You know what, just do it anyways during this next month. During this, if you do, my brothers are home, if you do intentions, this is a U moon. If you see my tarot journal, I said this is a U card. This is a U moon. So do intentions, write intentions that are based on, again, living your best life. What is the type of life that you want to see? What are the things that you want to see play out for yourself? What do you want to see in the physical? How do you want to feel within yourself? How do you want your growth to look? How do you want your relationships to look? All of these things. You can be a little bit selfish during this time. We're wrapping up the springtime. Again, we're planting seeds. What do you want the rest of your year to look like? And write intentions based on that, and be very intentional in the way that you write. I am, I do, I have, I see, I will. Start your sentences like that. Okay. People that are going to be affected the most. I have a lot of siblings, and it's just so funny because I've been grown for a little bit of time now, and whenever we get together, I forget what it's like to be around and the noise that brothers make, and it's so funny. But anyways, people that are going to be most affected by this moon are people with their moons in Gemini in 12 degrees or 6 or 7 degrees either side of that on the astrological scale. People with their personal planets in Gemini or 12 degrees, people with Gemini heavy charts, mutable heavy charts, or air heavy charts, you can definitely expect to feel this. Or if you were just ruled by the moon, like my little Cancer sun, Cancer moon, Cancer Venus self, you can just expect this to hit you as well. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Check out your Gemini lunar cycle tarot forecast. Finally said it right that time. Check those out. I'll have those going up over the next week. Also check out your vernal equinox tarot forecast. At this point, it's kind of like a reflection, but those are good or current up until we hit the first day of summer. And also that's it. I don't have anything else for y'all. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I will see y'all next time.